Hi, this is Savitri Wilder, and today I'd like to show you this thing called PowerPoint Trigger Effect. With animation, you can slide content in and out, for example, but with the trigger effect, you have more control over things. Let's say you have a Jeopardy game, and I can click on anywhere here on the PowerPoint, and you can see that my mouse is just a regular arrow button, and if I click there, it'll take me to the next page. Let me just go back, and if I hover though over the 100, you can see that my arrow is now a hand sign, and if I click on that, there's the question for the Jeopardy game, and if I click on this, it'll disappear. Now if I click on the 100 again, my slide will not go into the next page, but it will continue to show what I want it to show, which is the question for this point. And if I just remove that and click on the next one, it'll show this one. Let's go to the next page. I have US presidents here, and again you can see the arrow when I hover over George Washington, and if I remove myself from George Washington, my arrow becomes a regular arrow again. So what would happen if I click on George Washington? There's his picture. Let's remove him, and if I click on Abraham Lincoln, it'll show him. And I can keep on clicking, do the same thing over and over again, and my slide will not go on to the next page. Alright, so how do you go about doing this? Let me just show you here in a little bit. Alright, so here I am in the page where the US presidents are. Let me just go back to the Home tab and remove a few things. And this is what you should see before you start any sort of animation. What you want to do is first you want to insert the image that you want to show. So the next thing that I haven't done here is President Grant. So I can go into Insert, click on Picture, and find his picture here somewhere. And I'll just place it here, shrink it down a little bit, and now what I need to do next is click on Animation and click on Custom Animation and add an effect, just like if you would, when you're sliding content in. I'll just select a checker box like the rest of them. So here's that. Now before you go any further, next thing you want to do is insert a shape. Let's just click this and place it above Grant's name. This is what you'll see. Then you want to right click and go into Format Shape, and you want to make this transparent. Go ahead and close, and let's go into the drawing format and remove the outline. Alright, PowerPoint needs to know where you're going to click at. It can't click on the text, so you need to create a box. If you have an image that's a circle, you might put a circle over it. Whatever it is, an object basically that you're going to tell PowerPoint to click on. So that's what I have. That's what I use this rectangle for. After you insert this rectangle, go ahead and click on the president's picture again and go to the right of picture 7 right here under the custom animation and click on timing. In the timing box there's this trigger button. Click on that, and you want to select the start effect on click of. What I did was add a rectangle. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you, you can't rename the rectangle, so you just have to kind of keep track of which is which. So I like to do the trigger effect one at a time. That way I can keep track of which rectangle goes to what name. So here's rectangle 8, and I'll click OK. So now what it means is that if I click on this name, this picture will show up. And now I want to remove this. I can just add the effect and click on Exit. I'll just pick that checker box again. And here I have picture 7, and there's a little exit symbol. and do the same thing. I go back to timing and click on trigger, and I want to remove the picture when I click on picture 7, and I'll click OK. Alright, so then I have another example, and let's just play this one. So I created this simple PowerPoint slide, and let's just say I want to show children how their savings can grow every time they put X amount of money in there, and I just put a $sign here for my example. So when I click on the $sign, or let's say $50, you'll see this graph, and if they add more money into it, it'll grow. You can, use this example for a growth. Let's say you're teaching biology. You can click on a water bucket and the plant will grow, or you can show how things are built from the inside out using this method. So how do you set this trigger up to do this effect? So we're back in the PowerPoint slide, and I inserted the $sign and the 2 graphs. And if you look here on the right, all I did was insert the 2 pictures and create triggers for each one of them. But instead of, like before, I added an exit, there's no exit for this one. They're just entrance. So I'm going to insert the last image. And I'll just line this up. And then here I will create an entrance. And go back to the timing and the trigger, and it's going to appear when I click on the $sign, and PowerPoint calls it a placeholder 3. You can see it automatically place it here as a 3rd click. So now if you play this again, you can see the growth of this chart. Alright, that's it on trigger effect. Go ahead and try this out, and thanks for watching.